Hey everybody, welcome back. Now, I wasn't planning on this video, but I wanted to jump on really quickly today. Just a little bit of a follow-up, because I think it was last weekend I posted I just put a post up showing you this basket of ink sprays, which just were an absolute bargain in one of our local op shops. And several of you commented on it, and I just wanted to show you my first kind of experiments with them, really, because they're not a product I've used before, and they were great fun. So let me just quickly show you what I managed to get. So this whole basket, there's 24 different inks in here, and I paid 20 New Zealand dollars for it, which is absolutely ridiculously cheap. So anyway, came home and looked some of these products up online, and a lot of the videos I found were quite old ones, so I'm wondering whether these are an older style of product. I do know you can still get some of them, but some of them I think may now have been replaced by other things. But anyway, so did a little bit of research in some videos, and it's beautiful weather here at the moment. We're coming into summer, and so we have a big covered deck with some tables outside, and I took these sprays out there and had a play, and I'm really glad I did, because they are pretty messy, but I had such fun and managed to create some interesting things, and I just wanted to pop on today and show you. So some of these were Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. Okay, so this is an ink spray which has sort of a glitter or a glimmer in it when you use it, and there's quite a few of those in different colours. Look at this amazing red one. Wow. So there's a whole load of those, and then there's a couple made by the same company, Tattered Angels, and these are Glimmer Mist, but they're chalkboard, so they have a slightly different effect. Then there's 3 Dilution sprays, which are made by Ranger, and also by Ranger there's 2 different Perfect Pearls. There's a copper and a bronze in those. And then 2, 4, 6, there's 7 different distress stains, Tim Holtz distress stains, and the colours of these match the colours I've seen a number of people using, the distress ink pads. So that's what I had. As I say, I looked at some videos for some ideas, and what I started off with was one of my gel plates. And so I put the inks on the gel plates, and then I basically just used paper or envelopes to pick that ink up, a bit like you would if you were gel printing and making some backgrounds. So have a look at some of these, and I don't know whether you can see in the light there, the glimmer sprays are catching the light. And the other thing I discovered with these is you can then, once you've got the ink on the paper, you can spritz them with water and get some really interesting effects. So I'll quickly show you these. Now I think these are going to make fabulous backgrounds, and like I've done previously with gel prints, I think you could use these. I mean, you could use them as they are, like a background for a card or a journaling tag maybe, but also I think you could stamp on top of these and create some really interesting prints. So that was one of the things I did, and then once I'd got some other backgrounds, I used stencils and sprayed or used these little ink these stains to go through the stencil and add, you know, another layer of interest, if you like. And these were in fact done with water sprayed through a stencil. So you can get some really interesting effects. Now these I'm showing you, as I say, I've done these all the same. I created the background and then I've gone in again once they're dry with a stencil and sprayed through the stencil. Now, as with anything when you're first experimenting, sometimes you get interesting results, sometimes you get things that are pretty much a disaster. But look, that's all about playing and experimenting, isn't it? The other thing I discovered was that these inks work on fabric as well. So this is on just an old piece of sheeting. Now, of course, the thing to remember is that these are not going to be waterproof. So if you're using these with any kind of wet medium, you would need to seal them first. But look at some of these results, and even this one I think could be quite interesting as a background. And this one I've done the same thing. This is a little wooden, like a ply coaster. And I'd coffee stained it on this side, and then I've added a stencil on top. Now the other interesting thing is that when you have, so this was the background and I put a stencil on it, sprayed through the stencil, but then you can flip the stencil over and you get the ink, like the ghost print, off the other side of the stencil. This is just a few more. And some of these, this was just, like I say, this was just the ghost print off the stencil. But you really do get some interesting effects. That was just sprayed. Nothing more than that. These are some bits done on coffee dyed book pages. And a coffee dyed doily. This was interesting as well, and this was a tip I picked up somewhere online. These distress stains have like, it's almost like a felt pad on top, and you can use them to colour. This is a piece of cotton lace that was white, and this is coloured with barn door distress stain. So again, you do need to be mindful that they're not waterproof. These are some of my pickup sheets even. You need to be mindful they're not waterproof, but that could be useful. Now again, you see you've got the stencil that I've sprayed through, and then you flip the stencil over and you pick up the ink. Yeah, that one wasn't quite so good. Oh, love these. Got to show you these. Look at this amazing stencil. Hang on, let's find the ones that go together. So this is another example. Here I've sprayed through the stencil with lots of different colours, and there I've flipped the stencil over and picked up the ink. So you get the positive and the negative. And this is the other of those kind of skull Day of the Dead type stencils that I have. It's another one where I've picked the ink up off the stencil. And again, I think some of these, you know, you could carry on adding layers to. And look at this, wouldn't that make a gorgeous background? Or even a page in a journal. You know, some of these, I thought actually you could just fold that, and there you go, you've got the start of a page in a journal already. Oh, now this, I was trying some different effects on some thicker, some watercolour paper. And again, you can see the ink reacts slightly differently on those. So if, as you're looking at these, you're interested and you think, yeah, I'd like to know a little bit more about how you did those, let me know in the comments below, because we're just about to hit Ephemerember next week. So that's going to be keeping me busy for the next month. But if you're interested, I'll do a couple of videos in the new year to show you how I did these, and hopefully by then I'll have had time to do a little bit more playing as well. Now this one, I don't know whether you can see, this was one where I'd flipped the stencil over and picked up, so the pink, and then I used the same stencil but moved it, and it's got a light sort of yellow spray through it. So again, just all about layering. This one was the stencil and then I sprayed over the top. And in all honesty, these are just some of my pickup sheets. But again, you know, collage fodder, bits that you could use, and a final clean-up sheet. So there we go, folks. Just a real quick something I've been doing this week, and I thought I would share with you. So if you've got some of these stashed away in the cupboard, have a think about pulling them out and playing and bringing some fresh ideas to the products that you have. But as I say, in the new year, I'll if you're interested, I'll get some videos together and show you exactly what I did with some of these. All right, for now, thanks for watching, guys. That's it for today. Ka kite anō.